Hey Josh, how are you? I'm sorry we didn't get much time to talk today. I didn't have a chance to mention it to you, but I have a very busy schedule. It's really important that I continue my run. I hope you didn't feel hurt by it or something.
Hey, Maddie. No, don't worry about it. I understand. It's not like we're kids anymore, right? We have stuff to do now. I have to say that I was more surprised to just come across you in the first place. You look totally different from high school. Like, you really look good, Maddie. I'm kind of proud of you.
Hey, what is that supposed to mean? Are you trying to say that I didn't even look good in the first place? Gosh, you're still that same rude guy from high school, aren't you?
Wait, hold on a second. That's not exactly what I meant. I was just trying to compliment you. I mean, you always look good. I was just surprised that you could turn out this way. I mean, it's been like, what, over 10 years since we last saw each other? People really change a lot, don't they?
You're telling me. I mean, when you decided to stop me on my run this morning, it took me a good 5 seconds to actually realize who you were. You kind of creeped me out. You know, I didn't expect some fat slob to come talk to me. I was kind of worried that you were trying to eat me or something.
Oh, come on, are you serious right now? I know we used to be pretty close, but I'm really sensitive about that type of thing. I'm self-conscious about the way that I look.
Yeah, well, so you should be. I mean, what the hell happened to you, Josh? You look like a totally different person now. The Josh I remember would never turn into the guy I saw today. Like, let's think back to how you were in high school. You were running track, right? You were one of the best runners? I had no idea you would actually turn into a walking earthquake.
Hey, come on. Do you really have to rub it in that much? Actually, you know what? Who am I kidding? You've always been this type of girl, haven't you?
Yeah, well, that's the type of thing that you love about me the most, right? Don't try and lie about it. I remember back in high school, you would tell me that you love a girl with honesty. Well, look, you have to accept me being honest, even if it's negative.
Yeah, I know. I was just hoping that we could talk about something else before we actually got into how I look. You know what I mean, right? Like, have a little bit of a chit-chat and catch up a bit. See what each other have been doing lately, stuff like that. I didn't expect you to go straight to the way that I look.
Well, hey, buddy, you decided to comment on my appearance, right? I'm only playing the game that you decided to play at the very start.
You have a point there. I guess I really deserve the comments you made.
Exactly. But you know what? I really want to know what happened because this isn't the Josh I remember. I remember that you were on, like, the strictest diet. You got your mom to make you these fruity smoothies every day. You used to walk around with that thing and take your supplements as well. At some point in the day, that smoothie changed into a protein shake. Like, honestly, it was quite comical. Not many people go to school with that type of thing. Everyone made fun of you for it. They thought it was hilarious, but I kind of thought it was cool. You actually cared about your health that much. Now it looks like you just sit at McDonald's all day. So what the hell happened to you, Josh?
Yeah, well, life has a funny way of working, doesn't it? I guess when it comes down to it, I had other things that I needed to put my mind on. I mean, fitness is great, don't get me wrong. At some point, I'd love to start doing some training again. You know, slim down and whatnot. Unfortunately, that's not my goal at the moment.
Are you serious right now? Are you sure it's not because of a girl or something? Come on. I know you must have experienced some sort of heartbreak ever since we finished school. I know the type of guy you are. You're probably one of the sweetest people that I know. You've got the exact type of personality that I can see girls hurting on a regular basis.
Well, look at you go. You almost speak as if you're talking from experience. Look, I've had my fair share of crappy relationships. Thinking back on it, I'm pretty sure that all those times that I felt really hurt by a girl, I started to eat a lot more unhealthy things. I guess at the end of the day, I'm no superhero. I'm just like everyone else. I'm only human. If the fluffy texture and creamy goodness of a chocolate cake can heal the stinging numbness of heartbreak, then I guess that's gonna be the main thing I eat on a daily basis. It's quite pathetic, isn't it?
Well, I'm glad that you're saying it so I don't have to. Like, come on, Josh, where's your vigor? Are you really gonna get that upset over just a girl?
Yeah, let's not get into that. What about you, Maddie? I'm pretty sure you had a heartbreak here and there ever since we finished high school, right? I mean, even before we finished high school, you were complaining about all the guys that you had to deal with.
Oh boy, that's bringing back some bad memories. Gosh, I was so young back then. What a stupid little girl.
Were you now? I thought that you were kind of cute, to be honest.
Yeah, right. You thought that little drama queen that complained all the time was actually cute? A baby that cries in the supermarket because his mom doesn't give him chocolate is more cute than that.
Yeah? Well, I guess you both had the same attitude. There was something about your frantic complaining about all the guys in school that was incredibly amusing to me.
Are you serious right now? Here you are, meant to be my best friend, and you're actually making fun of me for it? I shouldn't have never invited you to my house. I told you so much about me. I don't want to tell you anything.
Hey, come on, Maddie, you can trust me. It's not like we're in high school. I'm not gonna go around spreading all your deepest, darkest secrets. I really had a good time back then. There are some really good memories there. Is it weird if I told you that you're the only best friend I've ever had? I've never gotten along with anyone else as close as you.
Okay, well, that's a load of crap.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Yeah, come on, stop trying to flatter me, Josh. I know that you and Scott were best friends. You guys were such good friends that you actually supported him over me when me and that jerk actually broke up.
Hey, well, look, not that you are one of them, but we do have that saying, right? Bros before hoes.
Is that really the lame excuse you're going to give me for what happened? Like, let's be real. I'm pretty sure Scott was one of the guys that hit on the girl that you liked, right?
Oh, look, I know who you're talking about. It's one of the downsides about my friend. I mean, he's awesome. I love hanging around him. He's funny as hell, but at the same time, he was a little bit inconsiderate. He was a real ladies' man.
I know, right? Like he saw you and that girl getting really chummy with each other, and I don't even think he liked her to begin with. He just wanted to feel like he was in possession of her. He's just like such a jerk. I can't believe you're still best friends with him. I can't believe I actually dated him.
Yeah, well, what can I say? A friendship like that isn't very easy to give up. I accepted him for all of his faults and whatnot. And in all honesty, when you were out of the picture, who else am I meant to hang around with?
Come on, don't give me that. I know that we drifted away from each other after high school, but you still had that girl with you, right? She was the main reason that you and I stopped being best friends. I mean, I asked you to come hang out with me. I asked you to come over to my house. You kept telling me no.
Well, what else am I meant to do, Maddie? I mean, I'm in a relationship. She's not going to be comfortable with me going to your house on the weekends. It's like you said, I liked that girl for a really long time. I was finally able to date her. Can you really blame me for that?
Kinda. I mean, you would rather sacrifice your friendship with me for that girl, right? Honestly, to this day, I still don't see what's so special about her. I mean, she was pretty and whatnot, but her head is full of rocks. She's so insipid. There's nothing to like about her.
Look at that. If I had to be a betting man, I'd say that you're getting jealous.
Yeah, right. I'm so jealous of the guy that still plays with his Lego collection.
Hey, how many times do I have to explain myself I don't play with Lego? I don't play with it now, and I wasn't playing with it back then. It just happened to be in my closet. I can't believe my mom would be so annoying and actually bring that thing out when you're staying over.
Hey, come on. You and I are meant to be best friends, right? You're meant to tell me everything. I mean, you know all of my deepest, darkest secrets. Don't try and sit there and tell me that you're not up all night putting blocks on top of other blocks, creating some weird battleship for Star Wars or something.
Come on, Maddie, get real. I'm a grown adult. I don't do that type of thing.
Yeah, right. I wouldn't be so sure about that. I mean, you always were a little bit of a nerd, right? I bet you're the type of guy to go home and snuggle your body pillow at night. Let me ask, have you actually married it yet?
Maddie, come on. Enough with the teasing. It's actually really annoying. Is that honestly the way that you look at me? I'm actually more mature than you think.
Are you really now? I mean, look at the size of you. It doesn't seem like you're that mature. I mean, you're not even taking care of yourself. I wouldn't be surprised if anything I'm joking about right now is actually true.
Honestly, I've changed a lot ever since you and I have seen each other.
Have you, actually, though? I mean, I took a look at your hands today. I didn't exactly see a ring on them. I'm guessing you're still dating that girl and you haven't had the courage to actually be committed to her, huh? So far, the only thing that's changed about you is your appearance.
Wow, is that really what you think? It's been quite a long time, Maddie. Do you actually think that I'm together with her still?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. You were head over heels for that chick for so long. I remember you sitting there in the friend zone just waiting for your chance to pounce on her. The moment you realized that she hates being screwed over by the cool guy, she finally decided to settle down for the nice one. Wow, I'm getting some puke-worthy flashbacks right now. I just remembered how much you two clung to each other. I mean, it's actually so disgusting.
Are you kidding me right now? You actually thought that we were disgusting? I was under the impression that we were a pretty cute couple.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry to tell you, Josh, but sucking each other's faces isn't exactly what I would call cute. I'd say that's an unhealthy obsession with each other. So, what's going on right now? Are you actually trying to tell me that you guys broke up? I wonder what happened. Maybe she realized she liked the cool guys after all. A nice, boring guy like you wasn't enough to satisfy her.
Yeah, well, I guess it was something like that. The fact of the matter is, after high school, her and I didn't get along that well. She started fights for no reason and wanted to cause drama between us. I kept going into problem-solving mode. I wanted to try and sort things out. I mean, you know how much I liked her, right?
You're not wrong about that. I mean, I'm just imagining it right now. You would do anything to stay with that girl.
Exactly, I was going above and beyond for her. But finally, we ended up separating. I couldn't believe it. I was pretty heartbroken about it. There were a couple of times where I felt like messaging you and catching up, but I felt like it was dishonest. I knew you would get angry at me for it.
Yeah, well, you're not wrong about that. I'm not a fan of guys that like to crawl back to me.
Yeah, I thought that would be the case. I've known you for a long time, and I knew that you wouldn't like it if I tried to be your friend again. So from that point on, I just had to make it out there on my own. Focus on myself, you know?
Okay, but did you ever find out why you guys broke up in the first place? It's kind of weird that she would just create drama out of nowhere, don't you think? Especially when she was into you that much.
Of course I think it's weird. That's why I did my best to chase after her. I kept contacting her and asking why. I wanted to know what happened. Eventually, she just came out and said it. The truth of the matter is that she was actually jealous of you.
What do you mean right now? She was jealous of me?
Yep, that's right. See, she knew how close you and I were. She saw how much you liked being in my company. When she was watching you day after day at school, she couldn't help but catch feelings for me. I guess she's a lot like Scott in that way. She saw someone that had something that she wanted, and she wanted to take it away from them. She was a really evil girl. The moment that you were out of the picture, she realized that she didn't like me at all. And it's because of her that I really regret the fact that you and I went our separate ways.
Wow. What do you know? I guess there is the devil behind that little angelic smile of hers. You know what? I think I remember telling you to be wary of that one. She's not as great as you think she is. I guess now you're really regretting not listening to me.
Yeah, well, what can I say? When someone has a smile that you like, you couldn't think that there was any evil about them. I never knew she would be so petty to actually date me for the sole reason that you and I were close.
Sounds like you had a rough journey. I mean, ever since that breakup, I'm assuming you've been stuffing your face full of Big Macs every day? Who am I kidding? Look at you. That's exactly what you've done.
Well, not quite. I mean, yes, I have to admit, my diet has really gotten on the unhealthy side of things. I could definitely improve in that area.
Okay, well, why don't you? What's stopping you from doing that, Josh?
Nothing really, it's just convenient for me to eat the way that I do. I mean, yeah, I get it. If I spent a little bit more time learning how to cook and make some delicious food, I could probably get myself some cheaper and healthier meals. But at the same time, my time is super precious to me. I don't want to waste it on something like that.
Wow, really? You don't want to waste your time on something that actually contributes to good health? That's a really bizarre way of thinking. So what is it exactly? What would you rather put your precious time towards?
Well, here's the thing. After the breakup, I think people tend to go in two different directions. Some people stumble and fall into despair. They experience a sadness so intense that they have no way to pick themselves up. I mean, breaking up with someone almost feels like that person has died, right? You would understand. You had like a million breakups when we were in high school.
Hey, come on, don't say it like that. You act like I'm some sort of skank or something. Just dating everyone? I'm not just some bimbo, you know.
Hey, look, I'm not accusing you of being one. I'm just saying that's what happened. You dated a lot of people, so you would know the type of pain that I was feeling.
You're treading on thin ice, buddy. I hate when people call me that.
Just listen to me. I didn't want to be that type of person. You know, the person that lets their life spiral out of control after a breakup. I want to be the second type of person that experiences a breakup. I wanted to grow and do something about it.
Oh, really now? This is sounding a lot more like the Josh I remember. So, with your reinvigorated spirit, what did you end up doing?
Well, exactly what you think I would. I wanted to plunge myself into the financial world. I want to figure out a way to get rich and get rich fast. I put in a lot of time to study, reading up on things, trying to figure out the safest and best way for me to make something of myself. At the end of the day, I decided that working in stocks was the best thing for me. I've been doing that for the past 10 years now. I'm not too bad at it either.
Wow, look at you go. I'm a little impressed. But then again, you're still a fat, greasy slob. How come you didn't change that part about yourself?
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm just too addicted to what I'm doing right now. Like, I want to spend as much time on it as possible. It is so much fun. I really enjoy what I do. I enjoy it to the extent that I've actually turned into the fat slug that I am now. Like, I hardly look at the mirror.
Wow, are you kidding me? That kind of makes sense, though. I mean, the only reason you're not looking in the mirror is because you're ashamed to see what it reflects, right?
Yeah, okay, well, you're not wrong about that. I don't like being reminded of what I've become. But the fact of the matter is, the precious time that I would spend on cooking, cleaning, and washing dishes could be used to further my knowledge in the markets. To know which companies are going to go really well and which ones aren't.
Wait, are you kidding me right now? Are you trying to say that you don't even clean?
Yeah, look, I'm not exactly proud of the situation that I'm in at the moment. I mean, there's no way that you could come over to my house to talk about boys like we used to. I'd be too embarrassed to actually invite you through the door.
Wow, so things are really that bad, huh? Can't believe it. How could you take this much of a turn for the worse?
Yeah, well, when you're as driven as I am, there's nothing else that exists except the goal.
Oh, really now? I find that hard to believe, considering you're talking to me this much. Why don't you focus on your goal instead?
Well, I guess you can take that as a compliment. I'm actually using my precious time to talk with you again.
Look at you little flirt. Are you sure you haven't been talking to girls at the same time as you're playing around with stocks?
Anyway, you know what, Maddie? Enough about me. I mean, you've got a pretty good picture of what I've been up to these past couple of years, right? I want to know what you're doing. You looked amazing when I saw you today. You told me that you had to go for a run, right? Are you some sort of personal gym trainer or something?
Actually, no, I'm nothing like that. I can't believe you've known me for as long as you have, and you don't even know the type of career that I would have chosen.
Well, I'm not sure. Everyone ends up going on different paths when they finish high school, right? Like, I'm pretty sure you didn't expect me to be some sort of stock analyst.
You have a good point about that. But how about you use some of the information available to you? I mean, you knew what subjects I enjoyed in high school, right? That should be a pretty good hint.
Well, I'll really have to dig back into my memory here. I remember back in high school that you absolutely hated math. You didn't get along with the teacher in English. The one class that you would always talk about with a lot of enthusiasm was drama class.
Bingo! What does that tell you about me?
Okay, well, maybe you're working in some sort of theater work or something? Something along those lines?
Theater? I'm actually an actor, not in the theater, but in films. And not such a shabby one either.
No way, are you serious? I had no idea. That explains why you're going for a run. I'm guessing that you have a role where they need you to slim down or something.
Yeah, something like that. Actually, you weren't off the mark when you mentioned a personal gym trainer. For the role that I'm going to be playing, I have to be a yoga instructor. And you know how slim those girls are.
Okay, well, that explains a lot. I'm guessing you're gonna get into those tight little yoga pants, aren't you?
Hey, come on, I'm already creeped out enough by your 3 chins. I don't want to hear your greasy remarks either.
Hey, I'm just playing around with you. It's all lighthearted fun after all. How's the acting business going for you then?
Well, I have to be honest, it was quite a struggle at the start. I mean, I was a young girl with no acting history. All I could do was put out some demos of myself playing different characters. It was a long, hard struggle. I went a couple of years living off the bare minimum. It was just my dad barely supporting me. Then, after a bit of time, the ball started to roll faster and faster. I started getting more movie deals. I got so many that I could actually be picky about what I wanted to star in. I've done so many different roles now. Right now, I'm starring for a movie for a really slim character, but I've also had to star as someone who's a bit on the rounder side. I've had to play characters that were nothing like me. Characters that were emotionally unstable, or maybe even characters that had some sort of addiction. I've done a lot of stuff, and it's really enjoyable for me.
Sounds like you're actually pursuing something that you actually wanted to do. Do you know how amazing that is? That is so awesome, you know? Here I was thinking that when you and I separated, that was probably one of the biggest mistakes of my life. But at the same time, look at how far we've come. I mean, you're a successful actor now, doing what you love. Maybe it was a good thing that we had to go separate when we did.
Hold on a second. What am I listening to right now? Are you actually trying to say that you're happy about what happened? You're happy that we stopped being best friends.
Of course not, but at least things worked out for us in the end, right? Here we are. 2 successful people.
I guess you have a point there, but I have to be honest, Josh. I really missed you.
Oh, come on, really? You missed me? I'm pretty sure you would have met some pretty cool people in the acting industry. I'm just some boring guy that looks at numbers all day.
Yeah, I know you are. I know how boring you are. You don't need to tell me that.
Wait, I didn't want you to agree with me. I was hoping that you would say otherwise.
Just listen to me, Josh. Here's the thing about being in the industry I'm in and associating with other actors. When it comes down to it, they only care about themselves. I mean, there's a lot of narcissists in this industry. Not only that, but whenever a guy talks to me, it's only for the limelight. He just wants to put a medal on himself saying that he had some sort of experience with a semi-famous actor. It's not all cherry blossoms and roses like you're thinking it is.
Wow, so it's that bad, huh? I would have thought that someone in your position would have an awesome time with the other sex. I guess it's not as easy as I was thinking. But still, it must have its perks. I mean, you must talk to some really high-value guys, right? A lot of guys with money, charisma, charm, social skills, all that cool stuff that girls like.
Yeah, well, all that cool stuff that girls like is complete nonsense to me. I mean, I'm not a little girl anymore. I'm not that chick that complains about guys in the school that screwed her over. I don't care about that.
Well, what do you care about then, Maddie? Those qualities were all the things that you would obsess over back then.
I want someone who's nice, devoted, and won't hurt me. I want the type of guy who would absolutely adore me and bring me flowers unexpectedly. I want someone who knows who I am and knows who my family is. I want someone like you, Josh.
Wow. I wasn't expecting that coming from you, Maddie. Are you serious when you say that?
Of course I am. I mean, you've always been my best friend, even though I've hated the things that have happened.
Like me going off to date that girl?
Yeah, I hated that girl the most. But I'm pretty sure there are things you hate about me too. You hate the fact that I dated your best friend, right? I know that would have hurt. I'm really sorry about that.
It's fine, don't worry about it. Time goes on and you have to get over these things, right?
But Josh, listen to me. I want to ask you something. Do you even like me at all? Like even a little bit?
Wow, so we're going into this area, are we?
Yeah, because I'm really curious. I mean, we were so close, but we weren't romantically close. There was always this thought in the back of my head that you and I would actually do something together. I just want to know if you had the same idea.
Yeah, well, it's funny that you mentioned that. I was actually kind of thinking the same thing.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I mean, sure, there was that girl that I really liked, the one that you ended up being jealous about. I would always talk about her the most. You and I would always talk about our dating experiences in school. I mean, you would always talk about the guys and how much you hated them, but also loved them at the same time. I would always talk about how hard it was for me to actually get a girl.
Oh my god, that is so funny. I remember that like it was yesterday. I kept trying to give you advice and you never followed it. You were absolutely hopeless.
Actually, no. Quite the opposite, actually. I mean, I was hopeless, but that wasn't because I wasn't following your advice. It was for that exact reason that I was hopeless.
Hey, come on. Are you serious right now? Don't pin your failures on me.
Well, I'm sorry, but that's just the way that it is. I didn't start having much success until I stopped listening to you.
Well, I got you that girl, didn't I? You should be grateful for that.
Actually, no. I'm not gonna let you take credit for that. I'm afraid that Scott was the reason I got with that girl.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, well, Scott was the one who's always been good with the girls, right? He kept giving me advice, telling me to do certain things. Unfortunately, it always contradicted what you said. Considering you were a girl, I always sided with you, but over time I started to realize that I really shouldn't have done that.
Wow, once again, I'm losing to Scott, am I? This is just like so mean, you know?
Well, look, I'm sorry to say, but that's just the truth of the matter. You didn't help me at all, Maddie.
Yeah, well, maybe that was all intentional.
All intentional? What is that supposed to mean?
Well, the truth of the matter is that you and I spent a lot of time with each other, Josh. I mean, at first I thought it was purely friendship. You and I were kind of helping each other. You were the guy that I could vent to, one of the only people I could do that with. We had a lot of experiences with each other, and bit by bit, I started to like you. I mean, sure, you weren't like all the other guys that I was dating, but I caught feelings for you, you know? That's why it really hurt when you dated that girl. Are you trying to tell me that you didn't feel the same way about me?
Actually, no. It was always a lingering thought in the back of my head. There was a part of me that felt like you and I were going to be together at some point. I guess with everything that happened, it just never led to that, did it?
Don't you ever miss me, Josh? Didn't you ever get curious about messaging me from time to time?
You did cross my mind, and I was wondering what life would have been like if you and I were actually together. I guess things don't always work out the way that we want them to.
Well, that doesn't have to be the case, you know. I mean, you and I did meet today, right? If you ask me, there's some sort of weird fate going on here. I mean, what are the chances of that happening?
You're not wrong about that. It's quite a miracle that you and I were able to meet today. But what are you trying to say to me right now? You actually want us to start dating? We only just saw each other. We don't know how much each other has changed.
Yeah, well, that's the exact thing I'm excited for. How much has Josh changed? That's what I want to know.
Wow, you really are keen on me, aren't you? This is pretty strange, though. I don't get what's going on right now. Like, you were just making fun of me for being fat before. Are you really happy to date a guy like me?
Yeah, okay. Well, look, that's the one thing that I'm hoping that you can change for me. I mean, I'm gonna be a movie star, right? I don't want to be walking down the red carpets with a guy that's 3 times my size. If you're keen on dating me, you gotta put in the work. So, what do you say, Josh? Do you want to give it a crack? See if the best friends can become the best lovers?
Well, I don't know, to be honest. Like I said before, I'm quite driven on my goal. What I want to do is make money. And not only that, but if you and I start dating again, then I'd have to put up with your dad. I'm not sure if I can go through that for a second time.
Oh my god, come on, really? You still have a thing against my dad, don't you?
Yeah, look, your dad's not such a bad guy, but he really creeps me out, you know? I mean, there have been a lot of times where I was afraid to come over to your house just because of how weird he is.
Well, what about him is weird?
Are you serious? Okay, well, let me ask you this, Maddie. Does he still do all those weird things that he used to do?
Okay, weird things such as?
I'm talking about the times where he would walk around the house with nothing but his underwear on. I'm talking about when he would pour his chocolate milk into a wine glass when there were clearly other cups for him to use. I'm talking about how he would rely on you for everything. I mean, you bathed him, you clothed him, and you even put his tie on. Like, come on, Maddie, don't sit there and tell me that this isn't even a little bit weird. I know that he's your dad and everything, but surely you don't see this as normal behavior.
Yeah, well, I see it as quite lovely, actually. I mean, he's a sweetheart. I kind of enjoyed doing all those things with him.
Are you kidding me right now? You actually enjoyed being a teenager, cooking meals and cleaning up the house after him? I'm sorry, but I just find that so hard to believe.
Yeah, well, I know the only reason that you're saying this is because you two don't get along. I mean, you're always mean to him and he's never really accepted you for it.
Okay, he's always had a thing against me for no reason. Like, I remember the type of things he would say to you. He kept saying that I tried to steal stuff from your house, right? That I was up to no good. That I was gonna cause harm to you guys.
Well, hey, come on. We've had stuff stolen from the house before, so I can't blame him for being cautious.
Yeah, I know, but it was clearly one of the bad guys that you brought home and not me. I don't know why he was blaming me for everything. And you know what? I just remembered. He also walked around that house with a teddy bear in his hand, right? Like, this was a fully grown adult walking around with a plush animal. Even you must admit that was weird.
Well, he's had that thing ever since he was a little boy. I can't blame him for it.
Seriously? Surely there has got to be some point when you give up that type of thing, right? I mean, I've had the exact same thing when I was a kid, and I've gotten rid of my stuff. You don't see me clinging on to it.
I don't know about that. You and I aren't dating yet, so I've yet to see what little secrets you have hiding in the closet.
Trust me, there's nothing in here that's bizarre or can even match the level of quirkiness that your father has.
You know what? I think this is a problem with you, Josh. I mean, do you see me having any issues with Shirley?
Okay, yeah. Well, my mom is a little bit different, right? Like, she actually has a couple of screws up in her head still working. Even if those screws are starting to rust day by day.
You know what? I'm sure she's still an absolutely lovely lady. Gosh, just thinking about her makes me miss her so much. I mean, if we dated, I'd have an opportunity to talk with her again.
You're not wrong about that. If we did end up dating, that's the one part that I'm actually worried about the most.
Come on, what are you so worried about?
Well, I know how much you and my mom like to talk and make fun of me. It's not exactly enjoyable being on the receiving end of it, you know?
Hey, that was like the most fun thing about being around you. Look, I just checked the time and I forgot that I have a meeting with my manager soon. I better see him before he gets cranky. What do you have planned today?
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that because you're not the only person back from high school that I'm meeting. Scott reached out to me saying that he wants to catch up. It's been a while since him and I have talked. I was actually on my way to go see him.
Oh my god, you're still hanging around that guy? Are you? That gives me second thoughts about actually potentially dating you.
Hey, Maddie.
Yeah? What's going on?
You're actually serious about this, aren't you? You want to give us a shot?
Well, of course I do. I want to at least go on one date together. Like, let's see what happens. I'm just so excited for what's going to happen from this point on. I can tell it's going to be nothing but good things.
Nice one, Scott. Real classy. I don't know what I was expecting when you decided to invite me out today. I should have expected that you would have done something as douchey as that. Oh, geez. Hey, come on, man. Look, I'm sorry. You know how these things work, right? I mean, did you see the legs on that one? Wow. I expected you to get angry at me for not chasing after her. How could you do this, Scott? I mean, we had an arrangement to meet today. You know how precious my time is, right? I went out of my way to be able to see you today. And what happens? I get to the destination and I'm waiting around for half an hour. Then, as I'm about to leave, I see you walking around with some young girl. Like, come on, dude, you couldn't control yourself for just a couple of hours? Man, I don't know why you're so surprised about what happened. I mean, this isn't exactly new, right? I've always been this type of guy. Yeah, I know, but I thought after all these years you would have actually changed, or at least developed some sort of level of self-control. Like, I was actually looking forward to seeing you, man. I didn't think that you would ditch me for another girl like you always did in the past. Oh, come on, Josh. Stop being so butthurt about it. You and I both know that if you had my special gift, you'd be doing the exact same thing, right? Is that what you're calling it now? A special gift? Harassing women as they're walking to work? Actually, this one was just about to go see her in-laws, and she was not looking forward to it. So I actually did her a favor. What I'm doing is for the good of the whole world. Okay, so the girl that you saw has in-laws, does she? That means that she's married, and you just slept with the married woman. Good on you. No, you're definitely a good person, Scott. You're a guy that everyone should look up to. You're just a real role model. I know, right? It's about time that you finally accepted it. I was being sarcastic. Look, man, do you really have to act this way? I mean, I've been trying to get you on this train for a long time now. I've been trying to get you on the hunt, chasing with me, going after the baddies. Like, we're meant to be best mates and everything, and we don't do any of that. Oh, it's just so boring now. Well, what can I say? Both you and I are on different paths now. You want to go chase girls for the rest of your life? And I actually want to make something of myself. I'm trying to level up my portfolio, you know? Hey, come on. You don't need to tell me twice. I know exactly what you get up to. I know how much you and your precious stocks mean to you. Like, it's kind of sad to see, to be honest. Is that all you care about? Just looking at numbers all day? There is a lot more to life than sitting on your computer, you know? When are you actually gonna get out there and experience things? In due time. I don't see the rush here. Like, fair enough, I'm enjoying my life and I'm actually getting something out of it. Is there really an issue with that? Yeah, the issue is that you're gonna grow old and alone, man. You'll sit there thinking about me. Oh, I should have copied Scott. He had such a good time, right? It must have been really fun chasing those girls. Oh, I wish I'd done something like that. Here I am, stuck all on my own, thinking about what life could have been like. Oh, poor me. I really should have listened to him. What are you talking about? Is that actually where you think I'm heading? Do you actually think that I'm gonna die alone or something? Well, yeah, man, take a look at the way that you live your life. You stay inside all day. I'm pretty sure me inviting you was the only thing that got you out of the house, right? That is such an inaccurate way of looking at how I live my life. Just for your information, I'm not having any issues in the dating department. In fact, I've already set up a date just today. Are you serious right now? No, I find that hard to believe. Well, tell me about it then. What's she like? Is she a blondie? Is she a foreign girl? I bet that she's some girl here on an exchange program. Oh, that is gonna be a lot of fun. You know, you should definitely pounce on that. As if it's something like that. This one is someone who's even better. Someone that you and I are closely acquainted with. Oh boy, I know what's going on here. So I'm guessing one of the old girls from high school actually hit you up, huh? I don't really blame them, to be honest. I mean, I see what type of posts you put on Facebook. You're definitely flaunting the type of wealth that you have at the moment. Any smart girl would try to hop in the passenger seat as soon as she could. So, tell me which one messaged you. Was it Belinda? Oh, was it Grace? Oh, come on, man. Tell me who it is. I bet you it was one of my favorites. Oh, no, don't tell me it was actually Claire. I know she would have been the easier one to get under your arm, but I'm telling you now, she was the craziest one. You want to stay away from her. No, I've got someone even better than that. Oh, come on, you're killing me right now. Just spit it out already. I want to know, man. Well, if you really wanted to know, maybe you should have done the proper thing and actually seen me today. Are you seriously gonna keep holding that against me? Okay, fine. Look, I did the wrong thing. I gave in to my impulses. What can I say, man? I've got an addiction. How about the next time we meet, I'll shoot you a beer. Surely that's gonna put you in a good mood, right? Come on, that's a good deal right there. Just tell me who you're seeing. Oh, I'm so curious. All right, well, you are not gonna believe this. On the way to seeing you today, I ran into a girl who was jogging. She looked really familiar to me. She was a real stunner. Oh, I like where this is going. Jessica was in track and field herself. I bet you it was her. Damn, those tanned legs used to get me every time. Nope, someone even better than her. This person is currently an actor. The reason why she was running today was because she needs to slim down for a role that she has on the horizon. I exchanged a few quick greetings with her and I realized how busy she was. So we exchanged numbers and started talking from there. As you can expect, things escalated and we're actually thinking about having a date together. No way. This girl sounds like the real deal. You gotta tell me who it is right now. Oh, I can't imagine anyone from high school actually getting into acting. Well, there was that one girl, but she's just way too high maintenance to actually achieve a role like that. Who's that one? Oh, come on. You know, it would have been Maddie, right? She was absolutely crazy about that drama class. You're lucky you didn't have to date that one, by the way. You kept her at arm's length, and I fully agree with that decision. Then again, I was the one that took the bullet for you, so you kind of owe me at the end of the day, right? Scott, come on, man. Are you serious right now? Are you seriously gonna talk about Maddie that way? Dude, why are you getting so mad about it? You don't speak to her anymore, right? Ever since you started dating that chick, you and her stopped talking. You basically hated each other. There's no reason why you would get this defensive about this. Anyway, just tell me who this girl is already. Oh, you idiot. You really don't get it, do you? What are you talking about? Don't call me an idiot. I just want to know. Why is it so hard for you to spit out her name? The girl that I saw today was Maddie, you buffoon. Hold on a second. What did you say? That's right. Maddie was the girl that I saw going for a jog. Maddie's the one with the acting role at the moment. Can you have a little bit more respect when you talk about her now? Are you kidding me, dude? So this is the person that you're excited for? This is the person that you're so keen on seeing? Maddie? Oh, I feel like puking, man. I can't believe that you would do something so stupid. What are you talking about? Why would this be a stupid thing? Maddie and I get along really well. You're telling me that after all of those stories that I told you about being in a relationship with her, you're still feeling keen on dating her? I thought you knew better than that, especially now that you're older. I can't believe it, man. Oh, it's just too stupid. Stop calling it stupid. Well, I'm sorry, but it is. Like, you're a guy with the amount of money that you have, and out of all the girls you could choose from, you're gonna choose her? Oh, it just doesn't make any sense. Well, don't forget that Maddie and I used to be best friends. Actually, after talking with her today, it seemed like the feeling was mutual. She had feelings for me too. Think about it, man. Her and I already know each other. There's already a certain level of trust. So who's to say that this really couldn't go places? I don't know, man. Like, where do you think this is gonna go? Are you actually expecting something long-term out of this? Like, I get it, fine. If you want to date Maddie, that's not such a bad idea. I mean, if you can put up with crazy for a little bit as you have your fun, then I say, by all means, go for it. But if you actually think you're having a long-term relationship with her, then you are in for some big trouble. Why would you say that? Why do you have such a pessimistic attitude towards this? I mean, she's probably the most compatible person that I've ever come across in my whole life. I don't know why you would be so against this. Screw compatibility, man. Think about her personality and that family that she's got. Okay, well, I will admit that there are some little issues concerning the dad, but that's not something that we can't look past. I'm sure it'll improve in time. Oh, yeah, right. Do you know how loyal she is to her dad? Even when he's absolutely crazy, she just believes whatever he says. I still remember the ridiculous things that he told her to do whenever I came over. I still can't believe she actually listened to him. What are you talking about right now? What are these ridiculous things? Are you kidding me? Dude, you actually forgot? No wonder you think dating her is a good idea. You can't even remember the stupid stuff that I had to put up with in our relationship. Alright, fine. Refresh my memory. All of this happened a long time ago, so forgive me if I'm fuzzy on the details. Okay, well, one of the things that he used to get on me for is actually wearing leather in the house. Oh, boy, the leather. So you already know, right? The guy's a huge animal activist, and he hates the fact that I was wearing a leather jacket in his house. He accused me of being a contributor to the mistreatment of animals. I mean, fair enough, he's allowed to have his own views and everything, but just the way that he reacted was out of order. Okay, well, what did he do? Are you kidding me, man? That guy took off his belt and started chasing me around his own house. It was my first time there, so I had no idea where the exit was. I was just running around like a clueless chicken. By the time I found the exit, I dashed out of the door, and I could hear him scream behind me, telling me to never come back there again. Like, he was so mad about me being there, man. Okay, well, I guess you didn't get the memo. I already knew about her dad and that he hated that type of thing. I was able to avoid it while I could. Is that the only issue that you had with him? Of course not, dude. It doesn't stop there. The guy's like super anal about his beliefs. Not only that, but he's really protective of his daughter. Anytime that me and her were in the room together, he'd be peering in. He'd be watching somehow. Sometimes it was through the crack in the door. Sometimes he was standing at the window. I actually found out that he drilled a hole into the wall for him to peek into. Can't you see how nuts that is? Yeah, look, I kind of had the same experience when I was over at his house. It's pretty disturbing at first, but you get used to it over time. Oh, come on, man. Just listen to yourself. You're basically confirming all the reasons why you should not be with this girl. Okay, but this is her dad we're talking about. I mean, sure, he's gonna have some impact on the relationship, but he's not everything. You know, I wouldn't be so sure about that if I were you. I'm telling you now, any little dispute I had between me and her father, she would always take the dad's side no matter how ridiculous it was. Like, think about when he chased me out of the house. You think that she would actually sympathize with me and say sorry for what he did? She actually accused me of running around and not staying put for him. I'm sorry, what did you say? Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? She said that if I'm gonna be a guest in his house, that I have to do what he says. If he wants me whipped by his belt, then that's the way that it is. Think about it, man. If she's gonna side with him for something as crazy as that, what else is she gonna agree with? Well, you have a point about that, don't you? Then again, I'm sure everything is gonna be fine. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It does seem pretty tough dealing with the dad. But at the end of the day, it's what goes on between me and Maddie that's the most important thing. Alright, so let's talk about Maddie then. You seem really confident that everything's gonna be all sunshine and roses. I'm telling you, Maddie, on her own, is enough for you to just absolutely forget about socializing with her in the first place. What do you mean by that? Okay, well, I didn't tell you this back then, but when her and I broke up, it wasn't as smooth as you think it would be. I mean, I know we were young and everything, but I didn't expect her to flip out in that way. Are you trying to say that she didn't take it that well? That's a very light way of putting it. She didn't take it at all. She just did not want to accept the reality that she was getting rejected. I mean, I get it. I'm her first boyfriend at the end of the day, but there's no reason for her to act the way that she did. Well, I'm not so sure about that, to be honest. I'm not really sure what she did, but I can kind of understand. I mean, you broke up with her and you were seen walking around with a girl a week later. I think any girl would be hurt by that. Okay, yeah, but when you have a father like that and you don't even protect your boyfriend from him, you gotta think that's a red flag, right? Not only that, but take a look at the girl that I was walking around with. I mean, she was the hottest one in the school. I'm not exactly gonna say no to her, am I? You really are a simple individual, aren't you? Anyway, tell me about the way that she reacted when you guys broke up. Okay, well, this is really scary, man. I brought her over to my house and it was just us there alone. I didn't want to create any expectations that we were going to have some fun. I was really silent. Okay, fair enough. I guess that's a good move if you're going to break up with each other. Yeah, you would think so, right? I mean, I know you'd look at me like some heartless guy, but when I actually break up with someone, I try to be a gentleman about it. I try to be polite. I told her that I wasn't feeling interested in the relationship. I thought that she was a good girl and everything, but she just wasn't for me. Not only that, but I was having a hard time putting up with her father. I felt like it was a better decision for me and her if we just broke up. That sounds pretty standard, to be honest. You're saying that she reacted horribly to that? Oh yeah, that was the craziest thing I've ever seen, man. I mean, she just looked at me blankly, like she didn't even hear what I said. After a couple of seconds passed, she started to crack a smile. I couldn't help but smile back, even though I didn't know why she was smiling. From that point on, the smile turns into laughter. Then it turned into cackling. I kept awkwardly laughing with her. I had no idea what was so funny about all of this. She stood up, continued to cackle, and walked to a different room. I could hear off in the distance, and the cackling just stops. I got pretty scared. Man, I was this close to just leaving the house. I stand up to leave, and then all of a sudden, she appears as if she has just teleported right where the door was. She was still smiling, and she had a baseball bat in her hand. You and I both know what she intended to do with that. Oh, come on. Are you serious right now? You really want me to believe something like this? What are you talking about, man? Were you there? Did you experience what I experienced? You weren't, were you? So you better take my word for it. When I say that she is crazy, she is crazy. And I'm only telling you this for your own benefit, like you're actually thinking about dating this chick. It is insane, man. I'm super worried about you. Look, I'm sure everything is gonna be fine. I mean, she's an adult now. I guess she was very emotional back then. She was a teenager after all. We all had that side to us. I highly doubt that she's gonna act like that now that she's a grown woman. I wouldn't be so sure about that, man. I mean, I don't even know what you see in her. I don't see her worth the risk. Take a look at all the spicy girls that we have out there, and you're gonna go for someone like Maddie? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Despite what you think, I think Maddie is a good person and that we get along. Don't you think that's enough to actually date her? Not really, to be honest. I mean, take a look at her stats, man. You remember what she was like in high school, right? Ever since she dated me, she went on a downward spiral. She started dating everyone in the school. Everyone but you, at least. And from what you've told me, every time she dated someone, she actually complained about them. She said that it was all their fault. She didn't want to take any responsibility for it. She didn't want to see that maybe there was an issue with her. I'm telling you right now, dude, that is a big red flag right there. Well, it doesn't matter now. She's got a good guy. I know Maddie pretty well. I'm pretty sure that she's not a loose cannon. If she ever turned into that, I'd be able to handle it. Everything is gonna be fine, Scott. Stop worrying about it. Yeah, but even if everything's gonna be fine, think about it. She's used goods. Think about how many times she's been run through. Is that really the type of chick that you want to be with? Oh, Scott, settle down. Don't talk about her that way. She's not some item that you use. Look, man, I'm just saying. I mean, it might not seem like a big deal, but you guys start dating and you're gonna start seeing the repercussions. Like, just answer me this one. Apart from her being nice and you getting along, what do you actually like about her? You weren't there when I was having a conversation with her, so I don't expect you to understand. But when I saw her today running around and then had a conversation with her afterwards on WhatsApp, I could see that she's come a long way. I mean, she seemed truly mature now. She seems like she wants to do something proper with her life. She's got her acting career, and she's very devoted to it. I don't really care whatever person she used to be. I have full belief that she's realized whatever faults that she's had, and she's improved on that. I thought you would be happy about this, man. I thought that you'd be happy that I actually found a girl, but obviously not. I'm happy if you found a girl, but I want you to find the right one. I still think that you should be on the chase with me. We should be hunting together. Don't settle for a girl like Maddie. You deserve a lot more than that, man. Yeah. Well, I think you and I have had enough to talk about now. Scott, I've already heard enough about how much you dislike Maddie. I don't want to hear any more of it. I'm actually looking forward to the date I have with her. Oh, yeah, no, don't worry. Don't mind me. You guys do your own thing. I'm not going to intervene or anything, but I'm just telling you right now, man. I warned you. I warned you that things aren't going to work out. Don't come crying back to me afterwards. Maddie, where are you right now? It's getting late. You know what time you have to get back home, right? If you start coming home any later than that, I'll get worried. I have no idea what's happened to you. Maybe you're in danger. Maybe I need to call the police. Where are you right now? I want you to answer me right now.
Settle down, Dad. Everything's fine. I'm not in any danger. I'm just doing what I've always done. I'm finishing up at the studio. We had a big acting session today. I'm pretty tired right now. I could do with a good nap when I get home.
Yeah, well, it's too early for you to start getting tired. You have a job to do. I mean, think about how late it is and I haven't even got my massage yet. Do you think these shoulders are gonna massage themselves?
You're totally right. I'm sorry, Dad. I'll do better to finish up next time. I know how old you are. You must be in so much pain. It must be really hard to go on when you don't get my massages.
Of course it is. If you understand that already, then you should already have the common sense to be here. Now tell me, are you making a lot of money through that acting career of yours?
I sure am. This new movie that I'm starring in is gonna earn us a lot of money. A lot more than I usually get. I'm getting more popular, and there are some bigger studios that want to have me in their movies.
That's my girl. That's exactly the type of thing that I want to hear. So, you're saying that I can be a little bit extra extravagant with your money then?
Right, of course you can. That's why the money is there in the first place. Everything goes to my wonderful, loving dad.
That is what I want to hear. Oh, you're such a sweetheart, you know that? If only your mother had the same sense that you do. That woman didn't appreciate anything that was done for her.
I know, right? I can't believe Mom would do that. She was always talking about work and how much money she needed to make. She never wanted to be at home. She always enjoyed doing overtime. I can't believe she'd actually left us alone for us to fend for ourselves. I mean, you didn't have a job, right?
That's right. I wasn't earning any income, and she was so selfish just to leave. I had to raise you on my own. The only income I had coming in was her child support. And that wasn't nearly as much as when she was with me.
It was such a hard time back then, wasn't it, Dad? She should have given us more money. But I'm just glad that my child support was able to support us. I mean, you have to pay back all those credit card purchases that you had, right?
That's right. Your bimbo mom really left me in a pinch. I mean, I made a lot of purchases with the credit cards thinking that she would be the one paying for them. We barely got by on the skin of our teeth. Think about it. I had to cut my own food just to save our family. For weeks and weeks, I wasn't eating anything. The only thing I allowed myself to consume was alcohol, a carton of beer a day. Now think about that. I even went without food to support my daughter. But that's something that your mom would never do.
I know, Dad. You're just so brave. I have so much respect for you. You really are a good person. Can't believe she left you. I'm never gonna talk to that old bimbo again.
Exactly. That is exactly what I want to be hearing from my daughter. Anyway, look, I need you to come back here as soon as possible. And I want to know what you're doing this Friday. I want you to make some time for me. You and I are going to the ranch. We're gonna see all the animals.
Oh, Dad. Look, as much as I'd love to go down, unfortunately I made plans in advance. You see, the thing is, I'm going to have dinner that night. It's going to be with a guy that I've been seeing for a long time now.
Oh, please. You're not talking about that piece of crap Josh, are you? You're actually gonna prioritize him over me, aren't you?
Come on, Dad. Don't call him a piece of crap. Josh is a really great guy. I like him. He's so nice, and we've been friends for a long time. I've got a lot of faith that our relationship's going to work out, not like all those horrible guys that I've dated in the past. I know that Josh is a good one.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I'd be so sure about that. I mean, how do you know this guy actually cares about you? How do you know that he's not like the rest of them?
Look, Dad, I know it's hard to explain, but I just know. It's been a couple of years since I last saw Josh, but we've already been dating for a long time now. He's exactly the same. He's still that same sweet guy I knew when I was in high school.
Well, let's put aside the fact that he is sweet. I'm sorry to say, but there is a lot about that guy that I don't like, okay?
Well, what don't you like about him?
Well, just take a look at his work ethic. I mean, I don't know about you, but he sounds a lot like your mother. A complete workaholic who doesn't pay attention to family or the people around them at all. Like, come on. Are you really gonna sit there and deny it? You've noticed some similarities between them, haven't you?
Okay, well, I will admit that they seem alike, but Josh is still different, you know? He really cares about me. Mom didn't care about me, and that's why she left us. Josh hasn't left me, so that's proof that he's serious about me, you know?
No, I wouldn't be so sure about that. I think that boy needs to prove himself. He can come see me for starters.
Well, Dad, look, I'm sorry to say this, but you're gonna have to get with the program. I mean, I've actually proposed to this guy. I'm about to marry him.
Hold on a second. What did you just say? Oh, please tell me that what I heard was just my imagination. You did not actually say that you're gonna marry this guy, did you? And not only that, you said that you were the one that proposed to him? Oh, that is ridiculous. I know, I must have been hearing things.
Actually, no, Dad. That's exactly what I said. I have every intention of marrying him.
Are you kidding me right now? That's how serious you are about him? I feel like you're making a huge mistake here. You don't even know how invested he is into being with you.
Well, I'd say he's pretty invested. I mean, he was really happy when I proposed to him. What more do you want him to do, Dad?
I could think of a million things that this guy could do. Let's take the relationship with me, for example. He never sees me. He never goes out of his way to try and get along with me. That right there is suspicious. I can only think that he's after my girl or her body.
Come on, Dad, don't talk like that. I really don't want you to villainize Josh. He doesn't deserve it. I know there's a lot of bad guys out there, but he is not one of them.
Well, there's something that I want you to think about, and that's that there are a lot of good guys out there.
I'm sorry, what did you just say, Dad?
Yep, that's right. Think about it. Think about the situation that you're in, Maddie. You're an attractive woman who's also an up-and-coming actor. I know the type of guys that you come across on a daily basis. Some of them are quite wealthy. Some of them are quite handsome. If you ask me, these are people that are on your level. But for someone like Josh, he's got to do a lot more to prove himself. He needs to work a lot harder for you.
Okay, well, what were you thinking? Do you want him to get plastic surgery or something?
No, none of that. I don't care about how he is superficially. I want to know what he is on the inside. If he's gonna marry you, he needs to prove that he's gonna make a commitment to his family and to you. And there's only one thing that I can think of for him to do that.
Okay, well, what is that, Dad?
You guys are gonna move out together, right? If this guy truly loves you and he cares about you, he's gonna care about his father-in-law as well. I want you to tell him how it is. He's gonna accept his father-in-law in the household, or he's not gonna marry you at all. You should make that a condition of you two being together. You know what? I would actually push that guy to start working harder. I mean, you said that he was playing around with stocks or something. There is no way that he's earning enough money. That guy needs to get a proper job. If my daughter is going to earn the amount of money that she does, she needs to put in the same amount of effort.
Oh my God. You're so right, Dad. I can't believe I never thought about it before.
You understand why you need to do this, right?
Of course I do. You're right about everything. I trust your judgment. I feel so bad right now. I forgot to tell you that him and I are getting married. I know you must be so mad about this.
Well, I really love my daughter, so I'm gonna overlook this just this one time. But you're already a grown woman now, Maddie. You should know a lot better than that by now. Anyway, these shoulders are starting to cramp up. I need you to get home right away. No more dilly-dallying. Get home as fast as you can. Hey, Maddie, guess what? I know our wedding is on the horizon and everything, but I was thinking that you and I should go for a little getaway before then. My mom actually brought up the idea of us traveling to Rome for a bit. Don't you think that would be kind of cool? How about taking a break from work and using a bit of our savings? I say we actually enjoy ourselves.
Oh, are you kidding me right now? You're thinking about going on a vacation when we have the wedding just around the corner? Do you really think that's a smart decision?
Look, I know it's a little bit brash, but at the end of the day, we have the savings for it, right? Don't worry, this is all gonna come out of my pocket. I just want to have some good memories before you and I get married. So, what do you say? How about you and I go next month?
Actually, no, I can't. As much as it sounds fun and everything, I've got a movie to do.
Oh, wow. Are you kidding me? I've already bought the tickets and everything. Looks like I'm gonna have to go on this trip without you.
Hey, Josh?
What's going on?
I need to ask you a question. What's the real reason why you're going on this trip?
What are you talking about?
Well, I want to know because you seem really happy to just go on without me. Why wouldn't you want to do it with your wife?
Well, obviously I have every intention of going on a trip with you, but look, you're busy and you can't come.
Okay, but you're still going to have fun without me, aren't you?
I guess so. I mean, think about what I've been doing so far. When I say that I've been working ever since high school, I mean it. That's all I've been doing. It's kind of good to take a break for once. You know, I'm not really used to this type of thing, and I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, really? What are you looking forward to exactly?
I'm really not sure, to be honest. The amazing sights, some different food, maybe buy some clothes that I don't usually wear. Pretty much anything different from being here.
Are you sure you're not just going there so you can hang around with girls behind my back?
Whoa, 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 whoa. Where did that come from? Come on, honey, don't be ridiculous.
Don't call this ridiculous. That's exactly what you were planning, right? Don't you dare try and hide it from me. That's probably the whole reason why you slimmed down and look so good recently.
Are you kidding me? Obviously that's not the case. I only look the way I do because you hated the fact that I got fat.
Well, who cares? That doesn't change the fact that other girls might like that too.
Hey, Maddie, listen. Everything is fine. Don't worry. I'm going on a trip with my parents. I don't want you to make a big fuss about it.
I don't know.
Anyway, tell me about this movie that you're gonna do. I always love hearing about the new things that you get into. What's this one gonna be? Is there gonna be some weird sci-fi with a lot of dramatic and suspenseful moments? Or maybe it's gonna be another funny chick flick.
Okay, well, I'm glad you asked. The role I'm about to go into is one of the most exciting I've ever done. I mean, you're gonna absolutely love it. The idea is amazing.
Wow, I can tell that you're really passionate about it. Lay it on me then. I want to know what it is.
Okay, well, get this. It's going to be a romance. It's going to have two lovers who are really passionate about each other.
Oh, that sounds so cool.
I know, right? When I say that the scenes get heated in this movie, I mean they get really heated. This is going to be an experience like you've never seen in cinema, especially when I'm the one acting.
Sounds like a really unique movie. Tell me more about it. I want to know. I'm on the edge of my seat right now. Who are the lovers? What type of position are they in?
Okay, well, get this. The story is about a brother and a sister who have affections for each other. They grew up their whole lives watching each other date different people, but on the inside, both of them actually had feelings for each other. Then, when they finally become adults, those feelings come to the surface, and well, I'll just leave the rest to your imagination.
Maddie.
What's going on? You're at a loss for words, aren't you? I know. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? Don't worry. You'll be the first one to see the preview. That's a special service I give to my soon-to-be husband.
Look, I can see that you're very excited about this movie and everything, but I'm not really sure I agree with it. I mean, this is a pretty bizarre role, don't you think? Are you sure that you want to have your face in it? Think about how it's going to affect your reputation.
What do you mean? You say that as if it's a bad thing. The only thing this is going to do for my reputation is increase it. I mean, think about how much of a unique role that is. Not many people can play that.
Yeah, I know, but you have every right to say no to a movie. You know, if you don't feel comfortable doing a particular genre, that's totally fine. I am pretty sure they would accept that.
Yeah, I know. You think I don't have any self-respect and I don't realize that? I know that I can reject movies if I want to.
Okay, well, why wouldn't you reject a movie like this? The theme for it is just totally bizarre.
Are you kidding me right now? Are you actually saying that you have an issue with the theme of the movie?
Well, yeah, I'm not really sure that this is good for your image. I don't want you to be known as that type of person. Like, honestly, I know you might be excited about how unique it is, but I was just saying this for your own good.
You know what? If you're actually going to be my husband at some point, there's a lot of things I need you to change. Number one is you can be a little bit supportive of the things that I pursue. I mean, I want to do this, so why aren't you encouraging me to do it? The second thing is you can be a little bit nicer to my dad.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Yeah, that's right. I know that you never see that guy. Do you ever think about how he might feel? Don't you feel like he's left out all the time? That you and I are always having fun and he never gets to join in?
Okay, well, I can see where you're coming from, but at the same time, I visit him like once a month, don't I? And here's the thing. Every time I visit him, he doesn't seem exactly too excited to see me. I don't even think he wants me there.
Yeah, well, regardless of how he acts, he might actually want to see you on the inside. I think some things need to change. I think you need to get a better job, and I think my dad needs to move in as well.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on, settle down there. What are you talking about? Why would I need to get a better job?
Well, think about it. Between you and me, I'm the one that earns most of the money, right? Do you know how embarrassing that is to have a husband that earns less than me?
Okay, fine, but I'm also the one that's investing your money, right? Like, I'm increasing our finances here. You should be thankful. We're gonna be very successful one day. Also, what is this that you said about your dad? You actually want him to move in or something?
Exactly.
Yeah, look, that is not gonna happen. I'm sorry.
What did you say? Why not?
Look, as much as I love you, Maddie, and I do my best to get along with your dad, there is no way us living in the same household is gonna work out. I mean, him and I are just two different beasts. I can't agree with the way that he lives his life, and he can't do the same about mine. I don't see it working out well.
Well, that's such a pessimistic attitude to have, isn't it? Why don't you just look forward to it? Don't you see it as an opportunity for you guys to get along?
Because there's way too much at stake here. Besides, you and I both know what your dad is like. He is heavily dependent on the people around him. I mean, he still gets you to go over there to do his massages, right? He still takes a little bit out of your paycheck. He doesn't do anything for himself, and I am 100% certain that he's gonna expect me to do things for him as well. I think it's best if I just keep my distance. Just forget about this idea of living together.
Are you kidding me right now? You really hate my dad that much?
Look, it has got nothing to do with hate, but just think about it. We just bought that house, right? We got everything moved in. There's not even space for him to put his stuff in. It's just not gonna work out. Anyway, look, I've got some things to do, and I want to start planning for Rome. I'm really excited for that. We'll talk about this later. So, have you talked to that boy yet? Have you stomped your foot down and let him know what's going on?
Look, Dad, I tried to, but things are going a lot worse than I thought. You're not going to believe this. He's actually going on a trip to Rome? We're only a couple of months away from the wedding.
What did you just say? Is he actually going on a trip to Rome? You know what that means, right? He's gonna have some sort of girlfriend over there. Oh my God, Maddie, things are a lot worse than I thought. You need to do something about this.
So you think so too, right? You actually think that he's going to see a girl over there?
Of course. What other motivation does he have to go? He's about to get married to you, and he figures it's the last time he can get a little bit of action with some other girl. Trust me, at one point, I was a boy as well. I know exactly how they work.
Well, what are we going to do then? Do you really think I should just break up with this guy?
Well, let me ask you this. You recently just bought that house, right?
We sure did.
Well, this might be a really good opportunity. He's gonna be in for quite a shock when he comes back from that trip. Maddie! Maddie! Why in the hell would you do something like this? What is going on right now? Where are you? You and I need to have a talk.
Oh, what's going on, honey? You seem to be in a bad mood. I guess that jet lag must be really taking its toll on you, huh? Don't worry, I'm at the shops at the moment. I'm gonna come back with delicious dinner for all of us. I hope you're looking forward to it. You know, I still haven't fed you my signature recipe lasagna yet. You're gonna absolutely love this one. I know you'll go crazy over it, so just sit at home and relax.
What are you talking about? Maddie, are you insane? How am I gonna relax in a situation like this?
Well, what situation? I think everything should be fine there. Is something not to your liking?
Not to my liking? That's a serious understatement. This has to be a joke. Do you have any idea what is going on with this place?
Well, no, actually, nothing should be out of the ordinary. Why? What are you getting so upset about?
Okay, Maddie, where should I even start? Well, first of all, the fridge has been completely cleared out of all meat. There's nothing in here but vegetarian products.
Okay, well, I don't see how that's a big issue. Are you going to have such a big cry about something like that? I wanted us to start eating something healthy anyway.
Okay, but you know I put meat in the freezer specifically for us to eat it at a later date, right? Do you know how much that stuff costs? Now it's all gone.
Yeah, look, I don't know. You're asking the wrong person. Must have just disappeared into thin air.
Maddie, are you seriously gonna act stupid about this?
Oh, come on, is there anything else that you're upset about? If not, let me get back to my shopping. I have a very busy night tonight, you know?
Hold on for a second, don't you go just yet. I need an explanation for what is going on here.
Okay, then, what is it? If the thing you're annoyed about the most is a little bit of meat, then I'll buy some at the shops. Is that such a big deal?
Sorry, no, that's just the start of it. We need to talk about the fact that all the leather furniture that we have is now gone. We also need to talk about how any clothes I had with leather on them are also gone. And most of all, we need to talk about why your dad is walking around naked in his underwear like he owns this place.
Well, isn't it obvious? Dad's moved in. Anyway, hey, how hungry are you tonight? That was a long flight, right? So I'm assuming that you want to eat a lot? I'm going to buy 2 packets of lasagna slices.
Maddie, are you even listening to what I'm saying right now?
Yes, I've heard you. There's some things that went missing in the house and Dad's there. Is there anything else that we need to talk about?
I think there is actually. I think you need to tell me what the hell is going on. How could you just let your dad move in without even having that discussion with me? This is my house after all.
Oh, is it now? Because I thought that was meant to be a family home. I thought that was a place for everyone to live, including my dad. Are you trying to tell me that you have a problem with this?
Yeah, I do actually. Your dad and I don't get along, and he's making me very uncomfortable right now.
Well, I guess that's something that you're gonna have to get used to.
What do you mean, Maddie? I'm not getting used to this. I am not putting up with this situation.
Oh, really? You know what that means, don't you? It means that you don't love me at all.
No, of course it doesn't mean that. But I want to be able to live in a house where your dad isn't monitoring us 24/7.
Well, look, Josh, I've had enough of listening to you. I'm going to give you an ultimatum. It's either you let my dad live in that house, or you and I aren't having this wedding. There's no way I can marry someone that's not even going to get along with my dad.
Are you serious, Maddie? Are you going to make such a big decision over something like this? Your dad has his own house. Just let him live there.
No, my dad stays with me. I want him to be by my side for the rest of his life, and you better accept that or else.
All right, well, here's my answer then. No.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
That's right. No. I'm sorry, Maddie. I mean, I get along with you and everything, but you're not worth it.
Are you kidding me right now? Do you really have the nerve to say that to me? How could an up-and-coming actress not be worth it? Do you have any idea how much fame and money I'm going to have from this point on?
I couldn't care less about that, to be honest. All I want is a proper home for me to be able to raise a family in. I don't want to be married to someone that makes a decision like this and doesn't even talk to me about it.
Wow. You're just like such a jerk, aren't you? I can't believe it. You're just like that piece of crap Scott.
Yeah, well, I guess the whole best friend thing dating each other wasn't gonna work out in the end, was it? Good luck with things, Maddie. You're gonna need it.
What do you mean?
Well, let's face it. With a dad like that, I wouldn't be hopeful about any guy dating you.
Yeah, right. You don't know me. You don't know the type of industry I'm in. I get awesome, handsome guys talking to me all the time. You don't think one of them is going to marry me? Well, think again. You're going to see me on magazines with a handsome guy, and you're going to be thinking that could have been you. Trust me, you're going to regret doing this.
Maddie and her father felt triumphant. I left that house and took all of my things out of it. Being around a guy like Maddie's father makes me want to run away as fast as I can. The two of them felt like they had won the battle. I mean, let's take a look at the facts. Maddie ended up getting herself a new house, and she didn't even have to marry me. I mean, sure, I could have just demanded I get my house back and they move out. But I thought it was a petty loss. I knew there were bigger things for me on the horizon. With a new house and a rejuvenated spirit for the future, I felt optimistic that things were going well for me from that point on. Unfortunately, Maddie's career didn't turn out the way that she thought it would. I warned her about that movie that she was going to make and that her reputation would plummet if she did. She herself experienced a lot of flack for it. The movie got horrible reviews, and wherever Maddie walks in the streets, she gets abused for it. Ever since she released that movie, she hasn't had one offer. Because of that, she doesn't have any income coming in. Her father was getting very restless about that. He himself wasn't able to work, and that's not because he was physically unable to. He hasn't been working his whole life. He left everything up to his wife and daughter, and now his wife has gone and his daughter is incapable of getting herself an income. Unfortunately, Maddie is too stubborn to do any other job than acting. She doesn't want to put herself down to the level of other people. Because of that, they now live in a financially unstable household where Maddie is constantly giving her father massages. He's getting cross with her every day. It got to the point where Maddie herself tried to get back with me. She tracked me down and wanted to apologize. She wanted to restart our marriage. Unfortunately, by the time that she did that, I already found someone new. She reverted to that violent, sadistic girl that Scott described, and I was forced to finally get a restraining order put in place. As for how I met my new wife, after everything with Maddie, I went back to Scott and I told him he was right about what happened. He welcomed me back with open arms and said he understood. He forgave me for not listening to him. From that point on, him and I went out there and we actually tried to find myself a good girl. We went through a couple of people, and then finally, I just found that one that was right for me. I didn't tell her anything about my money. I wanted to test her true intentions, and it turned out that she's a really great person. The moment I knew that she was the right person for me, I revealed the secret that I've been dabbling in stocks for a long time now. I had a lot of money, a lot more than even Maddie could imagine. Using that money, I opened up my own business and became the CEO of it. We're now earning passive income, and we're looking forward to having children soon. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. If you enjoyed it, please remember to click the like button. See you in the next video.